When my client Teddy came to me, he was making 3 fatal mistakes. He was a 42-year-old SWAT officer who wanted to quit that dangerous job and build a business and support his family. But he was struggling because of these 3 things. But then when we erased them, when we fixed these mistakes, we were able to give him the 3 steps to success. So that then he was able to go and build a 7-figure business, which allowed him to quit that dangerous SWAT job, stop being, almost fatally killed every single day. And then he was able to build an 8-figure business, and now he flies helicopters for fun. Okay, so the first thing that we did, Teddy was making a very common beginner entrepreneur mistake, which was he was everywhere, very distracted. Like the shotguns that were shooting at him when he was a SWAT officer, there was just ideas everywhere, okay? And so when you take that shotgun scattered approach to your business, you will never have the success that you want, and that comes from being laser focused. So, Teddy, first of all, he had his main job. Now, obviously, we couldn't get him to quit that without the side hustle income, but he was also partnered with a woman who was a nice woman, but not as motivated as him in one business. Then he was doing the online business, the one that we eventually grew for him. And then he had personal training on the side. And I think he had one other thing, some type of supplement or MLM that he was doing. And so you can see how scattered he was with the limited time, because this guy was working a few 12-hour shifts, and then he's exhausted and he's trying to recover and he's trying to grow, and that's not going to happen. So take a look at yourself. Are you shotgun scattered? Maybe you're not shotgun scattered. Maybe you only have one focus, but what about your day? Is it shotgun scattered and all over the place? Are you losing through productivity, death by 1,000 cuts, transition times? Are you trying to do too much in a day and not blocking your time? Or are you like Teddy and you have 5 different businesses that you're starting to grow? Understand this, that millionaires don't start with 7 streams of income. As my friend Alex Hormozy says, we start with focus. When I was a broke, struggling, introverted, socially anxious, binge drinking personal trainer, I had my online business and I had my personal training. I would get up in the morning and I'd work on the online business, then go do personal training, and then come home and do a little bit more on the online business. And I grew that online business. I didn't have 5 other jobs going on at the same time or 5 other ideas. So singularity of focus. Say no so that you can say yes. If you want to do great things, you have to do fewer things. The second thing that we had to do was give him a high income skill. Now, obviously, being a SWAT officer, it's a high life skill, but it is not a high income skill. Okay, these guys risk their lives for small pay, whereas us email copywriters, us salespeople, we don't risk our lives, but we get high pay because it's a high income skill because we know how to sell. So that's just the way the world works, and I don't want to argue about whether teachers or firefighters should be paid more than salespeople, but that's just the way the world works, and you have to go out there and you have to get a high income skill. So you're looking at either copywriting, selling face-to-face, nose-to-nose, toes-to-toes, in person, or from stage. So I have a client, and every time he gets on a podcast, we've crafted a killer offer so that he gets people into his high-ticket program. So he's selling through one-to-many speaking. I built most of my income through email marketing and Facebook ads to sales pages. And then we also have a team of salespeople on the phone, which is like nose-to-nose, toes-to-toes, or like solar sales, nose-to-nose. Like, we built those skills so that we had high income. With Teddy, he did it online. He built the copywriting. He also has some phone sales in his business, but it was the copywriting that allowed him to have the high income that allowed him to quit the job. Third thing is that Teddy, even though he was like nearly broke, right? He actually was he had his ex-wife he had to pay money to for his kids, and then he had a new family. And he's working and making, I don't know, maybe he's making 60 grand a year. I don't even think he was making that much because it was like 15 years ago almost. And so this is where he had to dig deep and he had to invest in himself. But he did invest in himself, and he came to a workshop with me and Bedros Keuilian, and we gave him the path, and I coached him along the way after that, which allowed him, even though he invested almost like, his last extra dollar in that mentoring, that's what set him free. So he had the strength and courage. Now, this is a guy in the SWAT. He has strength and courage every day, but when it comes to money, it's an extra level of strength and courage. So he had that. So he said no, he focused, he got a high income skill, and then he followed my mentoring, got my accountability, and he went to the next level. So those are the 3 steps that you can follow at any age, but it really starts like if you're The older you get, the more you have to chop away in that first one, okay? You can't follow sports ball. And I say sports ball, I mean like every sports league. Like you gotta throw that away. You gotta get rid of drinking. The only sports you can watch are your kids' sports. You can't watch any other sports. You can't get involved in political debates. You can't waste your time on anything, because if you want to get rich, you have to give it your singular focus. And the older you get, the more you have to cut away. So when you have those in place, you will succeed. All right, so that's what I wanted to share with you. Those are the 3 steps. If he can do it, you can do it. Get those high income skills, say no to the junk, and get your coach who is going to hold you accountable. If you don't have that coach, drop a comment down below or send me a direct message or do whatever the link says down below, so that we can get you on the path to success no matter what your age. Like Teddy's 42 when he did it. We have a client who's 73 and running a driving school and making $250,000 a year. And we're gonna turn him into the oldest millionaire that I've ever coached, which is pretty freaking cool. All right, so 42, 73, doesn't matter, 21, it's all the same. You gotta get focused and you gotta get the high income skill. So drop me a comment down below and we'll see you maybe on a call, maybe on a coaching call. Talk to you soon.